In June 1999, United Nations Civil Mission and International KFOR peacekeeping forces took over the administration of Kosovo and Metohija. While international representatives were getting to grips with the situation in the field, Serbian civilians were subjected to violence and many of them met with a brutal death. In a short period of time, more than 220,000 Serbs and other non-Albanians were exiled. Destruction of medieval monasteries belonging to the Serbian Orthodox Church ensued, and the killings of citizens who were not willing to abandon their homes continued. Albanian extremists destroyed or damaged 150 Orthodox churches and monasteries on Kosovo and Metohija, many of which date back to the 13th and 14th century. Serbian Orthodox Church and its flock suffered the worst blow on March 17, 2004. The Crystal Night, as it was referred to by many high international representatives, shocked the world. 34 Serbian monasteries and churches were destroyed at the time.
Some Albanians are continually attempting to forge history and appropriate Serbian holy places. Also, we are faced with a rising threat of Islamic fundamentalism, a phenomenon that didn't exist in these parts prior to the war of 1999.
Destruction of Serbian medieval cultural heritage continues to this day. In Babljak village near the town of Uroševac, that was named after Serbian King Uroš, only 11 elderly Serbs remain. All the Serbian houses were demolished in 1999. New ones were built in their place, but in vain. Albanian extremists who've had free access to open Albanian border crossings for 16 years would demolish them again. This also facilitated extremists in covering their tracks. The 300-year-old village cemetery has been devastated. Rajko Denić, a local Serb, says that he fears for his safety. He is committed to preserving what's left on the graves and the old church to the extent of putting his life on the line.
As you can see, a fence like this encompasses churches and monasteries in Kosovo and Metohija. This church was burglarized 17 times. Even the church bell was stolen. Is that democracy? Is that the democracy they are advocating? It has nothing to do with democracy, but we are struggling to preserve our identity and our faith. And we will fight for that, for as long as we live. We have to prove them that this is not their culture, that these are not their monuments but ours. Let them guard their own heritage, we will guard ours. That is our message to neighbors Albanians.
Neka oni čuvaju njihove, a mi ćemo da čuvamo naše.
In Gračanica, the largest Serbian village near Pristina, Serbs are concerned about the future of the monastery. They don't trust Kosovo institutions and oppose Kosovo's Unesco membership.
If somebody torched your house, would you give that house to him for safekeeping? That is why Serbs in Kosovo are worried. We are living in a ghetto. This barbed wire behind did not stop Albanian extremists. 50,000 armed soldiers could not protect the Serbs and their cultural heritage. And now, after all that we have endured, we are supposed to believe that Kosovo authorities would somehow manage to preserve the most important cultural and spiritual treasures of our people.
Gračanica Monastery was built by Serbian King Milutin in 1321. This medieval monastery is one of the 4 monasteries in the area that are on the UNESCO list of World Heritage in Danger. For centuries, people have been admiring the beauty of Gračanica, and the spiritual legacy of this monastery is deeply rooted into the cultural and historic memory of Serbian people.
Kosovo i Metohija je srpski Jerusalim.
Kosovo and Metohija is Serbian Jerusalem, votive soil that is essential importance for the spiritual and cultural identity of Serbian people. The set of the primate of our church has been in the Patriarchate of Peć in Metohija since the 13th century. Our predecessors, led by Serbian archbishops and rulers, expressed their faith by building the so-called endowments, memorial churches and monasteries. Those cultural treasures have been guarded from the time they were built by those very Christians, those people who have been living there to this day. They have survived 5 centuries of merciless Ottoman rule, when great many churches and monasteries were destroyed or turned into mosques. Today, this cultural heritage is faced with unprecedented challenges and attacks.
Ako neko nasrne na Gračanicu, koja je jedan od najljepših spomenika.
If someone was to attack Gračanica Monastery, which is one of the most important European sacred monuments of the 14th century, it would be an enormous loss for us. It's no use dwelling on it afterwards. We have to let those who have built these edifices, whose lives evolve around these sacred places, to be the rightful owners and to take care of them. Those sites can't have any other identity. They represent Serbian and world heritage.
When asked who built the monasteries on Kosovo and Metohija, most Albanians refused to talk about it, or they claimed that they don't know.
Those are ordinary people in the street. Citizens don't have to know everything that scientists and intellectuals know. Those monasteries belong to a certain period. Scientists are undecided about that. It is not up to me to dwell on it.
After all that has happened, Serbs don't believe in Albanian assurances that they would take care of the cultural heritage. They are especially troubled by the graffiti made by the followers of the so-called Islamic State that have been appearing on the gates of monastic complexes over the past several years, although the monasteries are still guarded by the KFOR soldiers and Kosovo policemen.
Uz svu zabrinutost.
Although we are greatly concerned, we sincerely hope that Albanians and Serbs will manage to build a better future and promote coexistence based on truth and mutual respect with the help of international institutions and their firm guarantees.
According to the data published by OSCE, 392 Serbian cemeteries on Kosovo and Metohija had been destroyed over the past 16 years. Evidence of their desecration can still be seen. Over that period, many condemning statements were heard, but no one was held responsible. Kosovo, whose authorities have been tolerating the destruction of Serbian heritage for so long, is now striving to enter the international institution that is supposed to value and protect that heritage.